Hey, Get Fox here. A question I'm frequently asked is how to user your middle linebacker or safety or whatever in Madden 18. So today we're going to go over just about all of it and kind of give you the basics to intermediate stuff and how to user, how to pick your user, how to do all that. But let's go over how to pick your user first. So basically what you want to look at for a user in MUT: speed, height, acceleration, agility, jumping, basically the physical stats, and that's a pretty good order for them and what you want. But Shaz here, Ryan Shazier, basically checks a lot of the categories. He's not the tallest guy though, so like Leonard Floyd would be awesome at 6'6", but he's fast. So what we're gonna do is just call a defense. Let's call it cover 3 first, and then when you call your defense, what you need to know are the weaknesses of it, and you basically try to cover it as a user. So if you call, let's say, a cover 2 as a user, you want to make sure and cover that middle area of the field. I mean, down the sidelines, you're not going to be able to cover. You're just going to be aware that your opponent can go there between your cover 2 zones. But generally, as the user, staying in your zone's a okay idea unless you need to chase a route. But basically, we're going to get into baiting in a little bit, moving between zones and whatnot. But say let's call it cover 3 off the bat. The biggest tip, and basically everything you want to know about usering comes down to one thing: anticipating routes. Go where you think the quarterback is going to throw the ball. Basically, make reads like the quarterback is making reads. So on offense, I'll just call this P8 double post play. So now the P8 double post goes there. Now you're not going to know everywhere in the play that the offense is going to call, but you need to recognize formations and where the tender spots are your defense and how that formation hits that spot and what routes run there. It's a lot of memorization of different popular playbook, and like so you need to know what different things they can go to. Like say if they come out and, well, they can't. I can't trips audible to trips here, but let's say they set it up just like I set up my little thing. So basically, what we're trying to do is bait a user underneath and hit that post route and corner route to the sideline. So as the quarterback goes, so watch the computer user, wide open post. So that's something that's very hard in Madden 18 to defend, are posts and corners. So as the user, the thing that you most want to take away are posts, and then come down to drags and underneath stuff. Or if it's short down, maybe you can cover the underneath stuff. But basically, think like the opponent's quarterback would think. I'm going to repeat that a lot. So say it's a short down, and they do something like this, and they want you to, and they want to go underneath. Then what you do is you bait the drag, maybe go over the top. See there it is. So I can only control one at a time. But look at that pass rush, beautiful. Anyways, pass rush in this game is terrible until they patch it. Hopefully they do. So run with routes, and if say it was a drag like that, a good tip, you don't necessarily have to run stride for stride with them sideline. See that? Then you can run downwards. See how you cover more ground on that drag? Basically, you run towards them and then you try and pick them off. And there's a lot to baiting here. So let's watch this again. So watch that tight end route. Now watch this little bait here. You go to the tight end. You think you got the tight end covered, then go back to this route. So if the quarterback anticipates you going one way, do that. Have him read off of that player to the other one. So it's kind of a mind game almost. Let's do that again. So you're with Jace, and then you go to the post, and you're right there. So he can't throw the post because then you'll pick the post. So that's basically what you want to know. And then after that, it all comes down to recognition. On the first drive of the game, I oftentimes have a bad first drive. What you want to do is recognize what the offense likes to do and where they like to hit on the field. So like this deuce close is very popular. And you can't really user everything in it. But let's go cover 4, drop show 2. Shade outside. This is how you beat that corner route. Shading outside and then cover 4. So notice your opponent likes to go there. Say you follow the drag and then he hits that A or something. Okay, see, it's cover 4, drop show 2. That's pretty good against it. Let's get tackled here. So what you do is if he hits that trail route of this once, watch it again. Then you go back and you go ahead and pick it or something like that. So you gotta notice the plays that they'll go to on their first drive are oftentimes plays they'll come back to later. So let's take a look. Like in certain opponents, I've noticed this. You really want to know what formations they're doing screens out of. So say they do early in the game a screen out of gun trips, tight end offset. It's a very good formation. Let's say, and then you're out here looking for 4 verticals and stuff, and then they all of a sudden throw a screen, and you're like, oh no, now It's hard to do two things at once. But say they do that, and you chase them back, and then the next time they do it, then you're right there. Then you recognize maybe that's the only time they go to the formation. But always memorize what formation they run the screen out of, and look for it later in the game. If they run it early, they're gonna run it again. It's hard to stay with. Sometimes it's almost okay to let them gain a good amount of yardage on a screen early. Recognize it, give them 7 to 10 yards, a solid gain. Then users know where you did. Then they'll go back to it. Then the next time they'll go back to it, and then boom, you're there. Well, you're there. It's hard to throw and pick at the same time. But another thing this year, I guess I maybe should have answered this earlier or said this earlier, but you can no longer hold Y. But what you want to do is when they throw it, let's see if I can do this on two hands. I can't. But you want to hit Y right as they throw it, and then the ball hawk will take over for you. So really use the ball hawk to effectiveness. Hold it down. It will bring you near the pick. It's still fairly easy to get picks if you're able to time that ball hawk right, if you're near there, because the computer will drive you towards the ball to wherever it's going. But let's say like this. Okay, well, my other guy picked it off. But I was holding Y. It's tough to do it in two hands. Anyways, next up, running the ball. Your opponents are going to run the ball a lot. And what I like to read key off of right away, I like to look at the guards. And this is real football stuff. Look at the guards because they'll often tell you where the play is going. So if you key on your guards to your running back, but basically your guards, watch what they do. They reach forward, they go downfield. They double on that play. So watch that guard movement versus, say, the verticals. Now watch what that right guard does here. He drops right back. So that way you know it's a pass. Before everything else, the guard dropped back. It's a pass. So key off those guards. Make sure and read the guards. Play actions are tough. Some play actions are better than others, but they're tough because the guard will shoot forward and then stop and go back. See that? He didn't actually go downfield. He went forward. He went back. So, oftentimes I find myself on play action, if I got to hover, sometimes the guards will suck me in. So sometimes it's not great to hover near the line of scrimmage because sometimes you'll get sucked in, and then you gotta get off. Sometimes it's not that clean. Sometimes it's harder to get off guards if you've been there for a second. But anyways, yeah. So watch the guards. Key off the guards for your user. If they pull, follow pulling guards. I don't know about So wherever your guards pull to, that's where your user wants to go. So let's say they're in wing power O, and you'll come out in your 3-4 cover show drop. So watching these guards, watch the guards. So see that guard pull? Go where the guard goes to. Fill that hole. It's oftentimes, also you can look at your run fits here by holding right trigger, B or X on the Xbox One. So that's circle or square, I believe, on the PS4. Those are your run fits. That's where you got to hold. But power O is a little different. You can go there and then have your safety fill that hole. So yes, if you set up your defense, if you go well with these run fits, if you fill your run fit, everybody else should fill theirs. But power tends to overwhelm your numbers here. If they pull somebody through and overwhelm your numbers. So sometimes you have to be the superstar on defense. But generally, if you fill your hole, the rest of your defense should be able to stand up and fill with you. See, he almost ran to right where the hole that I was supposed to fill at. But he cut back the last second because my other fill linebacker. So that's it for the run, basically. On tosses, see if there's a toss here. There is not in this formation. But on tosses, what you want to do, because this game isn't the greatest at, say, stopping them. Let's go to the I-form slot. Is there a toss out here? Yeah, a toss. I can't flip this one, but we'll just do it like this. So because the game isn't the greatest at getting out there and your force defenders aren't amazing, oftentimes what you want to do is get outside here and funnel it back to your defense. Now, you need to watch your force defender. You need to watch the ball carrier. But generally, if your opponent's running outside, you want to get outside of him. So let's go here. Fill the hole. Try and make him cut back. And even if you don't get the block shed and the stop, what you do by filling those holes is, if you hold up alignment, it makes the running lanes a lot smaller. And frequently, I'll see my opponent run into the back of his own guard, and then the rest of my defense will rally to him and destroy him. So once again, it's good to get a little bit of depth here. 5, sometimes even deeper is fine because you'll have the speed. Users, I mean, users respond better. This is the most powerful player on your defense right now is your user. Make them feel like it. Get out there, get out ahead of it, cut them back inside. The user's really gonna, the opponent's really gonna want to stretch outside because if they're outside that contain, that's gonna do a lot of damage to you. So that's it for toss defense. Run, sometimes you just got to bang heads and get in there and use your impact block and your middle linebacker to try and stand up guards. That's something else I guess we could get into. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. I accidentally hit the A button. So let's say a blast. This is a new thing this year where you can hit up on the right or down on the right thumbstick to go high or low on a blocker. So watch this. Boom. He blocked me back, though. See, I did the up stick on the guard, and because I'm just a little Shaz, I can't really take on a guard very well. But if you got a big banger like a Ray Lewis, all right, that one didn't work because I forgot to flip it towards me. You can go up on the right thumbstick or down to really cut them. Let's do this, halfback blast. Let's flip it. I'm gonna try and cut this guard. See if I can time it right with 2 different hands. There, see, I cut that guard. That's not great. That isn't great because I just took my defender out of the play. And it makes it really easy to run around us. So, if anything, try and go up with your big bang and middle linebackers to try and hold the yardage. Instead of getting bullied like Shaz does. But it's body weight specific, so Shaz isn't great. Shaz is more of like a lateral, a pass defender than anything else. So, also a huge tip. Let's see if this is it. There are cover 3 beaters, cover 4 beaters in this game. So if you notice your opponent hit you with them once, you might have to user it. So you might have to read, and then here it is. It's the same as using these crossing routes over the middle. Because the vert hooks, because see these hook curls? These things max out at 15 yards. This is as deep as this hook curl gets. He doesn't go any deeper. So when you see a route that gets in here at 25 yards, because of the way Madden's program, your hook curl is going to be here, you're going to have to use it to defend that post. I think posts are the biggest thing this year. There's no cross manning, so those are drags and underneath stuff. Yeah, you can bait them once in a while, but definitely watch the post. Your opponent's going to want to hit the post more than anything. Corners, you're SOL if they're able to hit the corners consistently. Except cover 4 shaded outside. That's the only thing. All right. So let me know what else you guys want to know about usering on defense. Basically, it's reading and reacting to the offense, what they want to do. There's so many popular formations. It's a lot easier when the meta settles. And usering is partially about the pre-play adjustments too for what you give. Like say this corner strike. I wish it was a PA post in Titans. That was a more popular formation, but knowing what you have set up, where they can attack with this formation. Like say I'm at Tampa 2. So the popular plays out of bunch are verticals, PA post, corner strike. So say this is a verticals. Verticals destroys cover 2 because you got 4 guys going deep against 2 guys. They're there. So as a user, this might not be using so much as pre-play adjustments. I'll quick adjust my corner to man him up so that way his vertical doesn't beat us deep. And then I also like to man up this PA post, although it's not as effective in 18. It's not as effective in 18, but it still is there. So there's that, and then basically Walker is going to be like kind of a cut across the middle guy. That's the post I'm gonna watch as a user. The running back underneath could cause a problem too, so I'm gonna trade off that post to this route right there, and then get back down to the halfback to try and hopefully user him. That's my goal. This vertical release from Decker, there is an ability to hit that between my 2 zones. I don't like to take my cloud flat off there because the C route against man coverage destroys it. So I like to keep my C route, my cloud flat there. You can do something as crazy as like man him up there if you really want to stop that vert, but I don't love that so much. So let's put him. Just wait until they basically you need to adjust to what they're doing. If they beat you with it once, they're gonna try it again. Learn that, love it. So watch this post, watch there, and then he would have hit that running back by there, and then I rally back to it. But that's what, a 5 to 10 yard. By the time he gets to it, then if you see that happening a lot, man him up. Man him up. Man him up. There you go. So now you have it like that. Your streak routes, your quarter flat should be able to destroy that on the front side. See, now they're in. Oh, the corner strike's on. So now watch this. Watch this. The corner was wide open there because I didn't have my cloud flat on. So really, defense is all about anticipating where the offense is going and trying countering it. There's some blitzes you can end, but basically the user is to anticipate, is to read where the quarterback's eyes are going or where you think they're going to attack in that specific play. So learn, read, react, try and bait from one route to the other, and that's the tips. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching Call Action. I'll see you tomorrow.